The same people that attacked us on September the 11th, the crowd that is now bombing people, killing innocent men, women, and children, many of whom are Muslims, trying to stop the advance of a system based upon liberty. And I was concerned that the chaos would more likely enable them to achieve their stated objective, which is to drive us out of Iraq so they could have a safe haven from which to launch their ideological campaign and launch attacks against America.
Shut up. Just shut up. Shh. Just be quick. Can you tell the President of the United States to shut up? I don't know. So let's just say, shh. Shh. Isn't it coincidental to you that the President of the United States yesterday went to Ohio, George Voinovich's state, right after George Voinovich said, you know, this war is, it's over. It's an occupation. They've met no benchmarks. You're throwing more human lives, more money, more time and effort, and you're actually creating more of the Qaedas, Mr. Bush. So, I just can't give you my vote anymore. And then Bush goes to Voinovich's home state and does a town hall meeting where, by the way, he made a little girl cry because he made fun of her like he does the blind and, just about everybody that, stands up and tries to ask him to cry. It's all a big joke to him. But yesterday he told us not only that the Qaedas were going to come and get us, but that our children weren't safe and our grandchildren weren't safe from the Qaedas. And he's just the man to deal with that problem. And then right after he does that, Michael Chertoff, from the Department of Homeland Security, the head of the Department of Homeland Security, a bureaucracy so obscene that it didn't exist before Bush, comes out and tells the Chicago Tribune's editorial board, and it's not on TV anywhere except to talk about it, so there's no audio of him actually saying, because he was sitting talking to the Chicago Tribune's editorial board, and he told them, we're facing an increased risk of attack based on his gut feeling, and that the Qaedas were going to attack us this summer. Transformers attacked us this summer. I don't know anything about the Qaedas. This is what he's saying to us. He's actually... So, is this stunning to you that the United States of America spends more on its own defense than all other countries combined in our early warning detection system in a post-9/11 world is Michael Chertoff's intestines? I got a message from Michael Chertoff. Blow it out my ass, okay? Just relieve yourself somehow. Because the United States of America doesn't want your gut feeling when we're paying you to prevent terrorism in these United States by virtue of your job as the head of the Department of Homeland Security. He's got a gut feeling. Is that what I pay the Director of Homeland Security to do? To gaze out of his window muttering, it's quiet. It's too quiet. Something's afoot. I mean, this is unbelievable. And does this mean that the President of the United States has eviscerated the CIA to a point where we now have to rely on Michael Chertoff's entrails to tell what the terrorists are going to be up to this year? This is amazing to me. I mean, when the President of the United States was handed a memo that was titled, I think it was called Osama bin Laden determined to strike within the United States. Remember Condi testifying after she tried to exert executive privilege, which we will get to. Believe me, I watched that whole freaking thing. But honest to God, when he got it in writing from the CIA, and he did nothing. He stayed on vacation. So now, how does he react when Michael Chertoff sends him a memo that says, Mr. President, I have a funny feeling in my tummy. Something's wrong. I think the Qaedas are going to come here this summer. We shouldn't be basing our national security on gut feelings or anything like that. Can you imagine our threat level goes up because his lumbago's acting up? Yeah, the rheumatism's dagnabbit, the gout. I got the gout. You know what that means? Qaeda's up to something. Something's up. Predicting terrorist attacks the way hillbillies predict rain. Yeah, winds from the south, ma. Blackbirds flying north. Qaedas are going to attack this summer. I know, rheumatism is acting up. Qaedas. Like they're locusts or something. Do you know what I mean? He's got a gut feeling. I have a gut feeling of my own. You know what it is? Nausea. I'm sick to my stomach. President goes out in Ohio after Voinovich, the senator from Ohio, says, I know I'm a Republican, but I don't support this war anymore, and says the Qaedas are going to get you. They're going to get you and your little dogs too. Basically, that's what he said. He told this crowd that their children weren't safe and their grandchildren wouldn't be safe unless we stayed in Iraq doing I have no idea what, getting his oil law passed. And then Chertoff comes out and talks to an editorial board of one of the nation's largest newspapers and tells them, I just have a gut feeling that the Qaeda are going to attack this summer. You know, he said, summer seems to be appealing to them. Hello, they're from Saudi Arabia. Don't think they're looking forward to ski season. It's always summer for them. What's wrong with these people? His gut feeling, it's based on, he says, seasonal patterns of terrorist attack. Seasonal patterns? Is this the Department of Homeland Security? Or are we now, depending upon the Farmer's Almanac for our national security? I don't even understand what this was supposed to be telling me. I just, he says, well, it's not an assessment of a specific threat. It's just increased vulnerability. We had increased vulnerability the day that Bush was selected by the Supreme Court of the United States, and then it increased even more the day that a plane crashed into the World Trade Center. And the President of the United States looked at that information and said, you know where I belong? In a second grade classroom. That's the message Al-Qaeda got, was that our president was so unconcerned with the loss of human life in this country that he would go ahead with a photo op knowing a plane full of innocent civilians has crashed into a skyscraper in New York City on a clear Tuesday morning. That's his decision. And that Osama bin Laden was let go, and articles were written about it, and that, the foreigners think that the American people know about the Battle of Tora Bora, and they understand what happened there, and they felt emboldened by that. And then, when we invaded and occupied an unrelated Arab nation, that's when our vulnerability was way increased. So, I don't know what we should do, but I'll tell you this. If we want our national security based on the gut feelings of the department chief, the head of Department of Homeland Security, then I say Gene Dixon for Director of Department of Homeland Security. Sylvester Stallone's mother. Yes, Jackie Stallone should be the director, the chief of the Department of Homeland Security. I mean, honest to God, man, whoever writes the bedside astrologer for Cosmo would be better. If we need somebody that's going to be able to, get some vibe on the Qaedas, then we need, Kreskin. Seriously, I need the guy that talks to the dead people. That's what I need. I need somebody that actually can do this job. If that's what, screw all the money we're spending. If it's going to be based on, gut feelings, then we need somebody that, actually has a gut that can connect you to a lost relative. Yes, this is my solution. Because it's theirs. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, John in Los Angeles.